And good evening, folks, and welcome back. It is another episode of Dome for the Holidays. How do you? We got a good one for you tonight. Got our buddy Jordan Taylor with Under the Lights in here with us tonight. Does a phenomenal job. If you're not familiar with who Jordan is and what they do, I invite you to go check out Under the Lights. They stream. We'll get into how many different games that they've done. Interesting, a little bit different than what we do here by covering the same teams. They make it around to the entire state. And so I'm not going to talk so much tonight about stats and teams remaining, but just about how the season went. And we invite you to give them a follow at Under the Lights too. But with that, I want to welcome in my buddy Jordan. Jordan, what's happening, man?
What's going on, Doug? I mean, you're starting to get into some of the things we do here, them late night shows. Usually we go after dark, and look at you. You're joining us.
Look, I did think it was funny when I sent you the text and said it's 10 o'clock, okay? And then I forgot. I should have said, or is that too early?
You right. It's midnight, okay?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's I remember those days you guys would go live. It's just you got a great crew that does that. Tell us a little bit about Under the Lights and what you got going on.
You and if my son pops in, just bear
Dude,
bear with me.
look, life is fine. Look, I've told you you've been on the show before. I'll show you. My helpers stay with me the whole time. So
That's
I
right.
you don't worry about all is well. This late in the season talking football, family's number one.
Yeah. So what was the question again, Mr. Doug?
Just about Under the Lights for those that don't know what it is that your idea and what you guys do about your weekly show that you have, your recap, your pick'ems, and just what life in the week of Under the Lights is all about.
So we do have our Wednesday night pick show where we turn it into a talk show. We have a quite a few guys that come and join us. Sometimes we have special guest pickers like yourself was last year. I'm surprised you haven't asked to become a special guest picker for the state championship week.
I didn't get invited back, but who knows what we could do tonight. We got till midnight, so let's go.
You right. I mean you're more than welcome to come, but I know it's you got bigger things on your plate for
We
Saturday at 3:30.
we got a lot. Well, it's a noon game that we have. We'll
Correction,
have
at
that. Yeah,
noon.
yeah, we'll have that noon game. We're going to go down Friday, but we've been making a lot of our Dome for the Holiday shirts here in our office. This is where we do everything here, and so we've got a couple of the under the lights ones that'll make their way down to New Orleans come Friday as well for you guys. So yeah, it's a busy week getting ready for a busy week.
Absolutely. So we'll do the Wednesday night show this week. We'll make our final picks of the year. It's a tight race right now. Alex and Gary are in the running for overall standings. I got the most wins in a calendar year, so we have fun with it. And we also, before we even do game picks, we actually make it a talk show. Like the game picks are our last thing that we do. That way, we know we talking football all the way through, and then Thursday nights throughout the regular season, I'm somewhere in the state. You know this, and Friday
Yep.
nights, I'm somewhere in the states. And uh, what is crazy is we broke a record this year, Mr. Doug. 28 games streamed this year, which that takes a lot of hard work to get to these stadiums, put together a crew. Because I mean, I don't have the same crew as you notice every week when we take these
Right, that's right.
photos. I have to put together a different crew every week of and work around everybody's schedule. So it's been a pleasure to call 28 of them and put together a crew and make some memories this year.
Look, and let me let the folks at home know too. And there, our comment section is open. So if anybody's got a comment or a question for Jordan or myself,
Send them
just
in.
make sure to put that in there. You guys end up with like 600 comments a night on your shows. I love that. But what I want to tell the listeners that we have is, we do a number of games, but it's different crews on Friday nights. You guys are just hitting a place on Thursday and Friday, not to mention your picket show on Wednesday, and then you guys do a recap sometime in the wee hours of the morning.
Oh yeah, let's go there. So, um, if they were offering games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we would do them also.
That's
But
right. Big shout out to Chaston who's saying hi to us, who's watching in. So hello to our buddy down there. Did great job all year long. Had some great things happening with Chaston this year.
and what a voice Mr.
Yep,
Chaston has. My
that's right.
goodness, I'm jealous. I wish I could talk like Chaston. But he's a good friend, just like you're a good friend, and I wish him and Patrick nothing but success in the near future. phenomenal
right.
job they did in the Southwest Louisiana portion of the state, and can't wait to see year 3 for those guys.
That's
But
right. That's exactly right.
you said so we finish up on a Friday night, and then we drive back to the studio most nights, and we always like to do a midnight recap show because it's still the adrenaline from the game we were just at and seeing some of
Right.
the scores across the state of Louisiana. So we go into them shows with pure emotion, and it's like I don't have any stats in front of me. I don't know that John Doe hit a walk off field goal when I'm walking into these shows. It's like you find out as you go. I know there's probably coaches around the state breaking down film, sitting in their office listening to us, or there's people on bus rides home listening. So I mean, we have a good time with it, and most times I call our fans. I say it's 2:30 in the morning. Why aren't y'all sleeping?
Yeah, right. Look, you'll see us. We'll pop in, but it's generally early on in the show. Come 11 or 12 o'clock, I'm ready for bed. And we've had the luxury of it. Most of our games towards the tail end of the season were at home. We had, we had Opelousas was one of the ones we went to. Our furthest one this year was Union, so we didn't get to listen on the way back on that one. But no, we try to pop in as when we get back from the stadium and shout a big howdy. We like to do it after a big win, and that happened a lot this year. So that was certainly fun.
And if your ears were listening, well, we talked quite a bit about that Ash Trojan football program this year. A lot of
Yeah,
us, a lot of us put them in the dome when the playoffs, before the playoffs started.
they've got something pretty special going on this season without a doubt. And the deal. Anybody in Central Louisiana, it's always going to be the underdog when they get out of here. Just history has proven that, and we talked about that last year when we were on the show with you. But man, the things are changing here. They're off a quarterfinal run last year. Last loss by the Trojans was Edna Carr in the quarterfinals last year. So here they go with that battle again. With the running back, the offensive line, the two young quarterbacks have grown. The defense is just solid as they can be. Only one player made first team all district, what I think is a travesty in that one. But you're in a district with Ruston, Neville, Washita, West Monroe. What do you do?
Hey, that should bring your lunchbox type of district there, but you got a team that potentially bringing a state title back home and only got one guy for all district. Yeah, that's unheard of.
Well, and we're the only one that break out besides Pineville this year into the not into the select side of it too. So you've got another just the strength of 2-5A and how tough it is to make those all district teams. They've got another one battling for state as well in Ruston who looking to repeat.
Yeah. Whenever you spoke about the rematch with before we get to Ruston, when you spoke about the rematch with Edna Carr from the quarterfinal game of last year,
Yep.
I asked the coach this same. I told the coach this in the interview last week. I said it's not often in life that you get a second opportunity at things, and that's what the Ash Trojans has. They got a shot to get that bad taste out of their mouth, and this time it's for all the marbles.
It is, and if you're going to play one and have it, can't you'd rather it be this one rather when you would a semifinal game or a quarterfinal game, and I'm telling you, you jump over into select, and it's tough over there. And that doesn't take anything away from the non-select or anybody that's out there, but you're going against those Catholic League schools. You're going against it's some battles out there.
Yeah. And speaking of Ruston, ever since that loss to you guys, they've turned it up a notch. They cranked this sucker up to 11, and they're looking like the Ruston of last year once the
Well,
playoffs began.
they do, and if you'll recall, they had a bad little stretch there because they had struggled the week prior to the week prior against Washita, and then they lose the week prior to us to Neville,
Yeah.
and so they lost. They went from winning they had 20 wins in a row to
Yeah.
losing two in a row, and so if that doesn't fire up a Jared Ball team, I don't know what will.
Absolutely. You go from beating some powerhouses out of state to coming back and finishing third in your district.
Right. Look, and that district's tough. Again, we invite you to send your comments out there. We're going on X, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook tonight. So anybody's got a question, just reach out to us. All right, let's look at your season now. You guys, on those 28 games that you did, you're doing Thursday night and Friday night games. Give
And
me a
so,
couple
and I had 2 Saturdays.
two set. Okay, wow. All right. Tell us give me a couple of things that stood out to you. Some of those things. So, you know what? It might not be the best but I enjoyed that. So, give me a couple of those.
For one, Bunky, Bunky is far near the best place I've ever been to when it comes to hospitality wise.
Really?
Unbelievable, unbelievable. The Grove is unmatched. The it's I've never experienced what we experienced that night for that playoff game. The Grove is special, and I can't wait to get back there in the near future. Out of 6 years of calling high school football, this year was the first time we've ever seen a walk-off field goal, which was, when you know me, I get excited for the little things, and if there's something
You
like
did,
that,
yeah.
if there's something like that, that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. So I'm always going to remember the night that we were at ERAF for that walk-off field goal against Kaplan. We saw
Look,
some
and it's just that type of football, that level too. They're just, I can only imagine the atmosphere.
Oh yeah, how you say that, the back half of the schedule and all of the playoffs has been incredible environments, and we're just lucky to be a part of it because we know we're not guaranteed in this level where you got to get permission and you're an outsider. So, like you got yourself, you're going wherever Ash is going.
That's right. That's
Like
right.
us, I'm gonna make a phone call and I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed
Look,
that week.
I'll tell you, we tried to pick up a game and begin the movement, tried to pick one. And there were a couple of people on Friday night. So that very first round of the playoffs that told us, no, thanks. We don't want to come down here. I'm like, okay, I guess
Yeah,
so. But a lot of them worry about the gate and attendance and things like this. And, the nearsightedness of that is difficult. But
you right.
you, yeah. So you guys had a good one. You guys have had some good ones in the playoffs. What stood out in the playoffs? What was your favorite game in the playoffs?
Actually, we've only had one good game in the playoffs. The rest were routes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But for 3.5 quarters, that Lowerville and Marksville
Yes,
game was pretty darn good. It was a one score game with a minute left to go in the third quarter, and me and Gary's looking at each other. Man, we got us a good one brewing going into the fourth quarter, and then
right.
next thing you know, it flipped on his head, and Lowerville marched their way to the second round, and then we all saw them march their way to the quarter. So that wasn't your typical 15 seed there, but we had OHS Bastrop in the first round, which that one
Right.
we're just thankful to have a game that week because there was only 3 Thursday games in the entire state in round one, and we got one of them.
That's right.
And then round
And you
two,
guys set a record that night, didn't you, on viewers?
and you ain't never gonna guess what's about to pass it up.
Your last picks show. I don't know.
Yeah, the Vermilion Catholic and Kentwood game is it's gonna pass it up before the week's over with.
Look, I love going back and watching all of the folks that watch these games afterwards. We set a record, of course. I mean, there's no doubt that we were going to with the game that we just had. I mean, there wasn't John Curtis and Ash was going to set that record, and it
Oh yeah,
certainly did for us. But I mean, you guys, it seems like you're getting 50, 60,000 views time the dust settles on it.
yeah. This one's sitting at 63 right now.
63,000 views. And that's Facebook alone, right? That doesn't add in. You guys don't go to YouTube or Twitter or anything.
Mr. Doug, I don't know how to use them. You know
I
we've
got
if I had to reach out to a couple of people just to figure out how to use a soundboard this year and some headphones,
you.
so I'm not tech savvy, and somehow we pull off a Friday night broadcast, but
Look,
no
you
Twitter,
guys,
nothing.
you guys do a great. And look, and you don't. I've seen the pictures. I've seen what you do. You don't piddle with the press boxes. You're out there with the folks in the stands.
Yeah, we'll set up in the back of a truck like you guys did over there in Marksville
We
that
did
time.
it. We did it at Marksville. That was the worst shot that we'd ever had. But I mean, you're down in the corner of the end zone shooting, and it's difficult. at the other end of it. I told Coach Bachman beforehand to run everything down this way if he could. So
You're right. We
yeah,
the way I told Gary is, as long as we have an opportunity, I'll make it work somehow. I don't.
that's right. That's right. And look, it's great because there are a lot of folks and look, in year this is gosh, this is probably year 7 or 8 that we've done Ash, maybe 9. I don't know what it is, but and so folks, there's a certain expectation with it. When you guys are there, it might be a place that nobody's ever live streamed before,
Correct.
and they're loving that. How do you pick a game where you're going?
So everything's scheduled in the summer.
Okay,
So we schedule everything in the summer, and then obviously when the season gets going, calls have to be made. We're saying I have to pick up this game,
right,
or I don't have a crew that can make it out that way on a Thursday night.
right.
So
Flex games.
yeah, I've had Thursday night games this year where I had to cancel because I can't put together a crew to go to Baton Rouge on a Thursday or a crew
Goodness
to go to
gracious.
Lake Charles on a Thursday. So I've had to pivot and find something closer on these Thursday nights, or if there's a district title game on a Friday later on in the season, I might have to make a phone call and make a decision and say, hey, we got a big game ahead. Do you mind if we make it up to you at a later date and if we go cover this one? So it's a set schedule in the summer, but it ain't set once we get the ball rolling.
And that's the beauty of it, is that you're able to move around and show folks those games that they're wanting to see, because quite frankly we've all been around games that, man, they're tough to call going into them, at about halftime you don't know who you're going to have watching it after that.
Yeah, but we've seen quite a few of those games, and I guess it's just how me and Mr. Gary talked before the preseason began, and we said the goal for this year was new stadiums, new rivalries. So
Right.
however the games played out, so be it. We would do our darnest to bring out a good broadcast where we know when we left that stadium that day we would be welcome back. That's always the goal, where someone will tell us that we're always welcome back. So whether the game's out of hand or if we're in losing our voices at the end of it, we're gonna give it hell at the end of the day.
Look, there's no doubt about it, and it's fun to go back and watch this, because I'm telling you, the pure emotion that you and Gary have is genuine, and it's awesome. And I told you, I think when we talked and did an interview at that early part of this season, man, be yourself. That's what makes it so successful, is that passion, that and that genuineness that you guys have. You see too many people that want to put on that voice and be that guy and just do that, and that, man, that's not what anybody wants.
Yeah, me and Mr. Gary are far from the back of any good at this, but we
Dude,
have fun with it. And if you want to see passion on a Friday night, just tune into us. If not, then we still gonna have some fun with it.
that's exactly right. All right. So anybody that's watched your picks show or your recap show has seen that big wall of helmets that you
Yep.
have back there. And it seems like, I don't know, do you know the number of helmets that you have?
Sitting around high 70s, low 80s right now.
Okay. What's the first helmet you got? And how did that happen? How did this wall begin?
First helmet we got was, I believe, Bunky. Correction. I knew it started with a B. Basil,
Okay.
and I think it started off with when we went to the Superdome and seen their collection, and then it started off with, man, it would be pretty cool if we could start putting some matchups on the table of those games that we're covering that week to
Right.
make things, I guess you could say, make the game itself stand out. But you can't always get everybody's helmet. So
Yeah, they tight with them.
then it came into, all right, who let's try to get St. Andrew Parish, because that's where the parish we're out of.
Right.
And once we got all of them and people seeing, hey, they got 8 or so helmets here. It came into, hey, can we give your helmet? And then it came into, hey, could we if we do a game, can we bring back a helmet with us for the display. And then it kept growing and growing and growing. And then finally, we stopped asking, and they're starting to call us, hey, can we give you a helmet? Does
Look,
that make sense?
that's awesome. That's a great place to be.
And that,
And that again, it just goes back to showing that what you guys are doing is working, and it's the right thing.
and it was always about, I want to just put the matchup on the table where we're covering that week. And
Right.
it came out to be one pretty sweet helmet display.
Well, I think you guys did some work on it too and built a nicer display for it too this year, did you?
Yeah, we're gonna have to build another one next year because
Well,
we got some more we're expecting before the end of the year.
we just got to still work on that ash helmet for you up here. That's the
Hey,
one thing that we got to do.
hey, if you win the state title, you can drop it off on the way back.
Right, we'll do that even if we don't. Right
Because
now, that
we'll stop and get some we'll stop and eat at Mama's.
absolutely a deal. Look, what? How long have you guys been going down and all 3 days of it?
2013 was the first year where me and Gary started this tradition that we do. We call it a weekend getaway. We call it or I guess you could say mini vacation, where
Right,
all the work that you do in the year, it all comes down to that weekend where we just go enjoy it and enjoy all the hard work from the season and let it all, I guess you could say, all the hard work that happened during the season, you just
yep,
go enjoy the weekend as a getaway. And we've been every year since 2013. We even had to go to a couple games at Tulane, and we've had to go to Natchitoches for 2020. So
I remember that
2013. So I
well.
mean, but Gary way before 2013.
I got you.
But me and him 2013 on.
This will be the first. Well, no, it won't be the first year that I've seen him in the dome. Of course, we were there in 2020, so excited to get down there for our first time and cover some of this. We're certainly there. We'll make our way in Friday because we roll in. We have basketball, and then of course now this year they've got the big our coaches show is on Thursday nights, which is why we're unable to do any of
Yeah,
the Thursday
from the
night
hotel.
games. No, we won't go up till we won't go up until Friday morning. We'll have that big coaches show Friday or Thursday night from there, and then get on the bus and come up Friday morning.
Okay.
Look, you're already getting a request here. John Gordon says, "Come to Cecilia next season. He'll cook." So
Hey,
I think that's a great idea.
John Gordon. I mean, we would love to, but VSN does a tremendous job for you guys, so we're already scratched there.
That's one of the things we've had to do some tape delay stuff when it came to VSN at St. Thomas More a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We could do the game, but we had to put the screen up covering it, and then we replayed it afterwards on there. And that's one thing that we run into a lot of times is that you get into or a Vernon Parish game, you can't get into Vernon Parish and stream because they don't allow the streaming in there at all.
Yeah, that's when we putting together these schedules over the summer, we have to also put together a list of who streams. Okay,
Right,
they're home, so we're able to go there because home in the regular season, home team permission. So you
right.
gotta you gotta look who's streaming, and you also gotta see where's the home and away, knowing that okay we can both stream if it comes down to it because they're on the road.
Right. Look, and it's difficult. We were one of our crews, Menard, was on the road to Oakdale, and they'd streamed last year. They or 2 years ago. They got to Oakdale this year, and they told them, said, "Nope, you can't. It might hurt our gate. Pack your stuff up and go." And I mean, they had streamed there 2 weeks or 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So it's tough. You never know, and that's why you just got to make that phone call ahead of time and get all of that settled out. Which game? All right, we will look a little bit at the games that are coming up this weekend. What's the one besides that little 12 o'clock tilt coming up on Saturday? What's the one you're looking most forward to?
besides that banger at 12
Yep,
o'clock,
that's
that's gonna
right.
be that's gonna be audio on 446 Sports.
It will be audio on 446 Sports. We're excited about it. And I think the biggest reason my guys asked me, they said, "Why are we doing audio if people can just watch it?" I think, well, it's just like the Saints radio and just like LSU. We've got us a Chris Blair camera that's going to be in there. We're going to have that like LSU radio does and just have it from the
Oh
booth. Now, I
yeah.
don't know if they'll want to see us or not for the entire game, but folks like to have
Hey,
what's going on with it.
I've always wanted to have a reaction camera because Can you imagine going back, look at some tape of myself with all these emotions I go throughout a game?
I can only imagine. Look, it's we thought about putting a camera in, and it's that reason that we don't do it. But we'll have one up there with us if they allow that. Who knows? Maybe they'll tell us you can't even show yourself on the camera. So we'll just put a
Yeah,
screen up and do that. But I think we'll have a good number of folks that are tuned in and listen. But that little tilt afterwards between Ruston and Central, it's gonna be a pretty good battle. Things got dicey with Central and Neville before they even got going.
man, how do you top Core and Ash in a Saturday kickoff? You come
Yep.
back with Ruston Central for the finale, man. If you ain't there Saturday and you're missing some good football, because you got some heavyweights throwing down in those first two games, and that's the most exciting day I'm looking forward to. The two 5A games on Saturday, but if I had um if I had games I was looking forward to, it'd probably be the Acadiana area teams at 337. Looking forward
Right.
to watching Cecilia play. Looking forward to watching Vermilion Catholic play, and I'm looking forward to watching Catholic and New Iberia play. Hopefully they all three bring back the title to the
Look,
337.
Look, it's exciting. It's you get back to Alexandria, and it's second time that they've played for a state title in the school's history. There's not been one in Alexandria ever. There was one in Pineville, but not in Alexandria at all. And so the excitement's there. You got a running back like JT Lindsay, who has
Man, I
just been
can't wait to see
dominant.
him
He's
in
been
person.
dominant this year. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
he's quick. I think the number one thing too, or one of the number one things, is that offensive line has been intact and consistent and started every game all season long.
yeah, and they got some big time players at the Superdome this week. You look at JT Lindsay. You look at Elijah Haven over there with Dunham, another
Right.
LSU guy. Jonathan Dortes with Vermilion Catholic just broke the total touchdowns record. He'll kick off the Prep Classic. I mean, the list goes on. They got some big time players that's going to be on full display this weekend, and I can't wait to watch as a fan.
Look,
We've done this 28 times this year. I
that's
get to
right.
sit back and enjoy it as a fan for once.
Well, look, you'll have to make your way up to the booth on Saturday and visit with us a little as we go live at 11 o'clock. We'll do some stuff down on the field prior to that. Excited to be just in the atmosphere of it. We called the game in 2020 that Ash lost on the 2-point conversion at the end of it. But man, it's just not the same, I've got to believe, as being inside that Superdome.
And I was at the stadium there and watched that one. And you know me, I'm a Acadiana guy, so you know
Right.
what side I was on. But
I know, but you just didn't know any better at that point. And now
you're right, you're right. But if the amount of people I saw that night that was there for Alexandria is packing up and heading to the dome, could you imagine the purple takeover next
so
week or
so
this
let
week?
me explain to you just how big it is around here too. So the youth football league, they're called the Red River Youth Football League. Their Super Bowl weekend, they've got 5 games this weekend, Super Bowl weekend. Two Alexandria teams are supposed to play in it, so they moved those 2 games until Sunday so that everybody could go down and watch the Trojans play on there
You
because you've
got
got
to.
some siblings of those guys that are playing.
Hey, last one in the town, turn the lights off.
That's
I
exactly
mean,
right.
in this case, we still got daylight.
The junior high is bringing a bus. They're bringing a fan bus on there. It's just this city is hungry for it. We're going to stream Thursday night from the pep rally bonfire to do that they do for our coaches show. You hop in and take a look at that while you're there at the stadium. Just pull it up in your phone from the dome, and you'll see a good time going on down in
Yeah.
Alexandria.
And check out our recaps on Thursday night. Me and Mr. Gary, as soon as all three every game is over with, we're gonna turn the phone on. We're gonna go live and give our recap right there in the bleachers of the game. So if you want to find out what happened, you'll have three recaps that night.
Absolutely, we'll do
I
that,
know
and
we can't
hopefully
stream the games, but I mean, they can't say nothing about a recap.
Look, they'll come get you. They'll snatch you up out of out. They'll find you in the nosebleeds, won't they?
They will, my friend. That's why we just fans.
That's exactly right. So John Gordon asked us, and that's one I was asking about. And he said he doesn't think that game will be a close game. John, shoot us another message on there. I don't recall which game it
it was
is.
it was the
Was it the?
Enoch posted Central and Ruston is his most anticipated game.
Yeah, Ruston's gonna I think win that one going away.
He said it's coach the experience from Coach David Semino bringing two other teams to state championship games. So he'll have his guys ready to play. Big Ruston is a different animal, but Central, they're just like Alexandria. They're touching the turf for the first time, so you know they're going to play with a lot of emotion.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and you saw that emotion spill over in that game with Neville. But you get in the semifinals, you get in the court, you get this late in the year, man, and it's emotions because it's win or go home, and it's uncharted territory. Not for Ed and Carr. What are they, 4-2 under Bryce Brown with their championship wins? So it's guys that have been there. But you look at tradition. We faced a team last week that had been to the semifinals. This was their 44th time, and we're 38-5 in John Curtis in semifinal games. And none of that tradition was going to tackle or block or run the ball. So it's just it's one game for all the marbles with Central and Ruston, and who knows?
You're right, my friend. Central, good defense. Ruston, good everywhere.
Yeah, they are. Look, we were looking on Wednesday on signing day, and you just see all of these people that are signing, and like, well, we played them. Yep, I remember those guys. Yep, remember your Aiden Andings and all of these guys out
Sure.
there. They're
Go
just
ahead.
they're just players.
I'm gonna go get one. Yes, sir.
That's it. Look, I know you'll get back to the family, and we know it's been a long day for you. Probably
Oh, man. You know I can
putting
talk football with you.
I know putting that deer meat up that your wife that you weren't able to be on the show last night. And look, that's the best reason that I've ever heard of somebody not being able to be on a show is that my wife killed a deer and I got to take care of the kids. I love that. Dude, that's Acadiana at its finest.
Hey, I'm glad you gave me an opportunity to come on this evening because I mean you got bigger things to worry about this week than myself. So thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, that's a good shirt. And my favorite. Well, I'm gonna put you on camera in a second. So like I was
We'll
saying,
get him a new favorite. We'll get him a 446 shirt.
you're right. I wonder if he's wearing the right colors. No, this is gonna be the Shaw Eagle colors for this week.
Okay, yeah, then no, that's not. When you look in your closet, Jordan, do you have anything that doesn't have a school logo on it?
Go get another one. Do I have anything that doesn't have a school logo on it?
When you go to reach in and grab some clothes out, get a shirt, get something, do you have anything that doesn't have a logo?
Oh shoot! I wear a lot of under the light shirts,
Right.
and
Branding.
I also coach at Port Barry.
Right.
So me and my wife are assistant softball coaches there. So I got a lot of Port Barry gear, and then I actually have not got many shirts from different schools out there. I got Kaplan, Bunkie, St. Ed's, Opelousas. This is big. Not many. I wouldn't even say I have 10 other. I wouldn't even say I have 10 other shirts out there.
Hey, look, there you go.
So I mean,
is that your sideline reporter?
I mean, do a mic check, buddy. Check.
That's great. That's great.
But
mine are at the age where they're too cool to do anything with me. So they're old and married and off and too cool. Actually, one of them started in the press box with me this year. He works up there on our home crew. So, well, look, you got a lot going on, my friend, and I look forward to visiting with you. I hate that we're not going to make it in Thursday, but we'll be there Friday. We're leaving town at noon. So we hope to roll into town, get in. We're staying real close to the Superdome, so we'll come in and we'll holler at you and get together and maybe come over there and see that nightcap.
Absolutely. We'll be there early Thursday morning. Tune in Wednesday to see what the panel is gonna do.
I'll
Will
take the
they
curve
pick?
Herb Street out and say I can't do this because we're calling it. But yeah, no, I think my Trojans take care of business here and they finish things off. So
Will the
I'll give you that one.
Will the panel pick Carr or will the panel pick Alexandria? I know one of my panel members said that Alexandria was the best team in the state, so will he still stick with that? He's actually watching right now.
Well, how's his record for the season though? Too is he in last or is he up near the top?
Okay. It's not too good.
Okay, see, so well, he's either due or we're in trouble. One of the two. Look,
And
there's Jason Blackwell saying go Trojans. That's the dad of defensive back Jason Blackwell, who is up at Northwestern now too. So great to see Mr. Blackwell on board watching us tonight.
good deal.
So, all right, brother, we're gonna let you get out of here tonight. I appreciate you spending some time with us. And look, you're probably just getting ready for your regular show coming up at midnight. I think it's
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's
I could fire one up in a few moments and say, hey, Mr. Doug, can be my guest.
That's right. We'll hop right back on without a doubt. We're gonna get back to making these Dome for the Holiday shirts and get ready for our trip down there. My man Jordan Taylor joining us here with Under the Lights. If you have not followed him, you're probably one of the few football fans that haven't. So I encourage you to go check out. You hear that? He said, "Go Trojans." I like that.
Go turkeys.
That's right. That's good stuff. All right, guys, y'all take it easy. Jordan, we'll see you down in the Big Easy, my friend.
Hey, you know my number. Don't you
Yep.
dare forget to call.
Not a bit, not a bit. And you may even see me pop in or pop on Wednesday night.
Hi.
All right, my brother. We'll
All
see you
right,
then.
see y'all. Yes, sir. Bye bye.
Let's call.